Hi guys, Barbara Massa here, and welcome to 45-Minute Power Flow Inner Warrior. Now today's flow is all about finding that inner strength, that inner energy that resides within all of us. So I will be modifying with blocks today, so if you have a block, go ahead and get it ready, and if not, a stack of books or anything stable will do the trick. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy your practice.
We'll start in a wide leg child's pose. Knees are wide, big toes in to touch. Arms are elongated out in front of you, palms face down. Your forehead resting gently on the mat, maybe putting a bend into the elbows, and we'll begin by finding our breath, moving in and out of the nostrils, in and out of the nose, as we allow our minds to hook into that yoga zone, forgetting about everything that happened before class, and letting go of everything you have going on afterwards. Using your breath as an anchor to hold you here within the present moment, keeping your mind within the mat space for the duration of the class. Today's practice is all about challenging ourselves and building that internal fire, finding that inner warrior that resides within all of us. Because when we challenge ourselves, we initiate growth, and that growth initiates transformation, which in turn leads to a happier and healthier life. So let's start to build the fire by coming up onto an all-fours position. Shoulders are stacked above the wrists, hips stacked above the knees. On an inhale, chest and chin lifts, heart shines forward for your cow. And exhale, curl and round the spine, coming into your cat for cat-cow. We'll inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, opening up. And exhale, bringing it in. Last one. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, curl and round. From here, sit back onto the heels and we'll go for a side bend. Right hand comes out beside you, left hand stretches up and over, palm face down. We'll inhale here, and coming back through center on the exhale. Inhale, left hand comes out beside you as the right arm reaches up and over. We'll inhale here, and exhale, releasing back down to the center. Inhale, hands come to the mat. And exhale, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Spreading wide through the fingertips and pressing into all four corners of the hands. It's the first down dog of the practice, so feel free to move around here, finding any movements that resonate within your body at this time. Maybe pedaling out the feet, taking your dog for a little walk. Allow the hips to traction upwards as you press the heels into the ground. And if the back of the legs are feeling a bit tight, put a little bend into the knees, adjusting the pose to whatever you're feeling. I like coming up onto the toes and then dropping the heels over to the right, feeling into that side stretch. And then bringing them over and dropping them down to the left. Might feel nice for you guys as well. Once you're done finding those intuitive movements, go ahead and find stillness within the pose. On an inhale, press into the ground, hips reach. And exhale, shift forward to a plank. We'll hold here on the inhale. And slowly lowering down, Chaturanga Dandasana, all the way to the earth on the exhale. Inhale, chest lifts, heart shines forward for cobra. And releasing back down to the mat on the exhale. We'll go for a couple more cobras. So inhale, heart lifts, relaxing through the glutes. And exhale, releasing down. Rising up on the inhale and lowering down on the exhale. Last one. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. On an inhale, stretch the hips back. And exhale, walk or jump, light, top of the mat. Flat back, inhale, spine is straight. And forward fold, exhale, falling over the legs. Arms to the sky. Inhale, interlace all 10 fingers, releasing the index fingers. And then lean to the right on the exhale. We'll inhale back to center and leaning over to the left on the exhale. Back up on the inhale, maybe a small back bend, and folding all the way down on the exhale. Inhale, hands to shin, flat back. Exhale, stepping back through a plank as you lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra. And exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Now, from Down Dog, slide forward into a plank, upper push-up position. And then back to Downward Facing Dog on the exhale. 2 more like these. So inhale, moving forward to a plank. And exhale, pushing back, Downward Facing Dog. Last one. Inhale, forward to plank. And exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Take an inhale here. Press those hips back. And exhale, step or hop, front edge of the mat. Inhale, chest lifts, flat back. And exhale, folding forward. On the inhale, arm circle, root to rise, interlacing all 10 fingers. And leaning to the right on the exhale. We'll inhale back to center. And leaning it over to the left on the exhale. Inhale, back up, maybe a small back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shin, flat back. Exhale, stepping back and moving through your vinyasa. Inhale, rise, Cobra, maybe up dog, your back bend variation. And exhale, pressing back, Downward Facing Dog. Now, from here, we're going to go for some yogi push-ups. So, on the inhale, move forward to a plank, and then Chaturanga and hover, exhale. Inhale, pressing back to plank. Exhale, lower and hover. Inhale, back to plank. Last one. Exhale, Chaturanga, hover. Inhale, back to plank. And exhale, pressing back, Downward Facing Dog. Inhale, hips lift. And exhale, step or fly, top edge of the mat. We'll inhale, hands to shins, flat back. And exhale, folding forward over the legs. Arm circle as you rise on the inhale, interlacing the hands except for those index fingers. And exhale, over to the right. Back to center on the inhale. And exhale, over to the left. Inhale, coming back up, maybe a back bend. And falling over the legs. Exhale. Inhale, chest lifts, flat back. Exhale, stepping back through plank and lowering down. On an inhale, your back bend variation. And exhale, pressing back, Downward Facing Dog. We'll inhale here. And move forward to a plank on the exhale. Place the weight into your right hand and swivel onto the blade edge of that right foot, opening up into side plank as the left arm rises to the sky on the inhale. Option to stay here or option to bring the left toes into the inner right thigh for fallen tree. That top hand can come up and over, maybe shifting your gaze upwards. We'll inhale here. And exhale, releasing back down and pushing back, Downward Facing Dog. We'll inhale here. And exhale, shifting forward to a plank. Shoulders stacked above the wrists. Shift the weight into the left hand this time and swivel onto the blade edge of that left foot as the right wing opens up high to the sky. Again, option to stay here or you can bring those right toes to the inside of that inner left thigh. That top knee is energizing up as you bring the top hand up and over to the front edge of the mat. We'll inhale here. And exhale, releasing and pushing back, Downward Facing Dog. Inhale, pressing into the ground as your hips reach high. And step or hop, top edge of the mat on the exhale. We'll inhale to a flat back. And exhale, folding forward. Arms circle up, interlacing all the fingers except for those index fingers on the inhale. And exhale, leaning it over to the right. Back to center on the inhale. And extending it over to the left. Exhale. Center on the inhale. Maybe a back bend. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, chest lifts, flat back. Exhale, stepping back and moving through your vinyasa. Inhale, rise, cobra, maybe up dog. Exhale, lifting the hips and pressing back, downward facing dog. We'll inhale here. And exhale, releasing it out. On the inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Now, keep that right leg lifted as you shift forward into a plank. We'll inhale, right foot comes on top of the left. And exhale, chaturanga hover just above the mat. Inhale, back to plank, 2 more of these. Exhale, chaturanga lowering down. Inhale, rise, back to plank, last one. Exhale, lower and hover. Straight back to plank on the inhale. Exhale, foot comes back to the mat, holding here for the inhale. And pressing back, downward facing dog, exhale. Hips stretch back on the inhale, and we'll step or fly, top edge of the mat, exhale. Hands to shins, flat back, inhale. And exhale, folding over the legs. Arm circle, interlacing those fingers on the inhale. And over to the right, exhale. Back to center on the inhale. And over to the left, exhale. Inhale, coming back up, maybe that small back bend. And exhale, folding forward over the legs. Flat back on the inhale. And exhale, stepping back, chaturanga dandasana. We'll inhale, chest lifts, your back bend variation. And exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. We'll take an inhale here. And exhale, sighing it out. On an inhale, left leg rises. Shifting forward to a plank on the exhale. The last of these yogi push-ups right here. So on the inhale, left foot comes on top of the right. And exhale, lower down, hover. Rise on the inhale. Lowering back down, exhale. Inhale, press it up, building the heat on the way down, exhale. And feeling the fire on the way up, inhale. Exhale, foot comes back to the mat. We'll hold for the inhale. And exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, hips stretch. And step or fly, top of the mat, exhale. Inhale, rise, flat back. Exhale, folding forward over the legs. On the inhale, the arms circle, looking up. And interlacing those fingers. Exhale, dropping it over to the right. Coming back to the center on the inhale. And leaning it over to the left, exhale. Back to center, inhale, maybe a back bend. And falling over the legs, exhale. Flat back, inhale. And exhale, stepping back and moving through your vinyasa. Inhale, your back bend variation, feeling into the repetition. And exhale, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. We'll take an inhale here. And exhale, release it out. On an inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between the hands. Place the weight into your left hand, and on the inhale, right wing opens, twisted lunge. And exhale, hand back down to the mat. Rise to crescent on the inhale. Slight bend in the back knee as your tailbone lengthens to the floor and your pelvis lifts off of that front thigh. Keeping the lower back long and the lower belly engaged, slowly straighten that back leg by driving the heel back and firming the hamstring towards the sky. The right hip draws back, keeping the thigh parallel to the mat. The front knee points forward, directly in line with the front heel. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other as you slide the shoulders down the back. On an inhale, stretch the arms up, maybe looking up for full expression. And exhale, hands frame the front foot as you move through your vinyasa. Inhale, cobra, maybe up dog. And exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, left leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between the hands and place the weight into your right hand. Inhale, left wing peels open. Exhale, releasing back down to the mat. We'll rise to crescent on the inhale, and we'll hold here for a couple of breaths, checking our alignment. So start with that slight bend in the right knee as you lengthen the tailbone towards the floor and lift that pelvis off of the front thigh. Slowly try to straighten that back leg, keeping the lower belly engaged and the lower back long. Working towards driving the back heel into the ground as you firm the hamstring towards the sky. That front knee points forward, aligned directly over the heel at all times. The inner thighs squeeze toward one another as the shoulders roll down the spine, creating space between the shoulders and the ears. We'll inhale, arms reach, looking up for full expression. And exhale, moving through your vinyasa. We'll inhale, cobra, maybe up dog. And exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. We'll take an inhale here. And exhale, release it out. On an inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between the hands. We'll rise to crescent on the inhale. And exhale, opening up, finding warrior two. That front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Right toes are pointed directly ahead with the knee aligned over the ankle. Drop the front thigh so that it's parallel to the floor. Firm the outer edge of the back foot into the floor with the toes pointed slightly ahead. Work on firming that back thigh as you activate the inner muscles of both legs by energetically drawing the front heel towards the back arch and vice versa. The shoulders are stacked directly over the hips. The lower belly is lifted as the sacrum draws towards the floor, lengthening the lower back. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and spread wide through the chest. On an inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. And exhale, windmill the arms, moving through your vinyasa. We'll inhale, chest shines forward. And exhale, pushing back, downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale, release it out. On an inhale, left leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between the hands. We'll rise to crescent on the inhale. And exhale, opening up, finding warrior two. That front heel is in line with the arch of the back foot. Left toes are pointed directly ahead with the knee aligned just above the ankle. Drop that front thigh so that it's parallel to the floor, feeling into the strength. From the outer edge of that back foot into the floor with the toes pointed slightly ahead at an angle. Work on firming that back thigh as you activate the inner muscles of both legs by energetically drawing that front heel towards the back arch and vice versa. The shoulders are stacked directly over the hips. The belly is in as the sacrum draws towards the floor, lengthening the lower back. The shoulders draw away from the ears and we're spreading wide through the chest. Both arms extending energetically in opposite directions, palms face down. On an inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, painting the sky. And exhale, moving through your vinyasa. We'll inhale, chest lifts. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. And exhale, release it out. On an inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step it between the hands. We'll rise to crescent on the inhale. And exhale, opening up, finding warrior two. On an inhale, flip that front palm, reverse the warrior. And exhale, the right forearm rests gently above the right knee as the left arm reaches up towards the sky, finding side angle pose. The right hip draws under as you spiral the outer thigh down and lengthen the tailbone towards the back of the mat. The abs are in. The chest and core are revolved towards the ceiling as the top ribs roll back and the bottom ribs roll under. On an inhale, reverse the warrior. And exhale, circle the arms. Hands frame the front foot as you step back and move through your vinyasa. We'll inhale, chest lifts, cobra, maybe up dog. And exhale, pushing back, downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale, release it out before we go for the left side. So on an inhale, left leg rises, three-legged dog. exhale, step it between the hands. Rise to crescent, inhale. And exhale, opening up, finding warrior two. On the inhale, reverse the warrior, paint the sky. And exhale, moving forward, finding side angle on the other side. So that left forearm gently rests above the left knee as the left hip draws under and the right hand reaches up towards the sky. This is a strength-building pose that aids in digestion by targeting the abdominal organs as we work on stretching and toning the thighs and the hips. On an inhale, reverse the warrior. And exhale, arms move, stepping back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, heart lifts, your back bend variation. And exhale, pushing back, finding downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. And exhale, release it out. On an inhale, hip stretch. Exhale, step or fly, top edge of the mat. Inhale, chest lifts, flat back. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, arms circle, root to rise, looking up. And exhale, hands in prayer in front of the chest. On an inhale, arms circle, looking up if the neck allows. And exhale, folding forward over the legs. Inhale, chest lifts, flat back. And exhale, stepping back and moving through your vinyasa. I'll meet you guys back in a downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between the hands. We'll rise to crescent on the inhale. Opening up, finding warrior two, exhale. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior, inhale. Exhale, shifting forward, finding side angle. On the inhale, reverse the warrior. And coming back to warrior two, exhale. From here, we'll straighten that front leg and shorten the distance between the feet by bringing that back foot forward a little ways as we make our way into Trikonasana, triangle pose. So on an inhale, right arm reaches out forward in front of you, and exhale. Bring the hand to the outside edge of the front foot as the left arm extends up to the sky. The back foot remains at an angle as the front foot points forward. Feel free to place a block under the hand if needed. The goal is to keep the spine parallel to the floor. The chest rotates open and the shoulders are stacked directly on top of each other. From here, go ahead and put a bend into that front leg as we shift the weight forward into the front foot and lift the back leg parallel to the floor, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Balancing on the left leg, the right hip wraps under, stacking the hips on top of one another. The toes of the left leg are flexed, the big toe pointing slightly down. That top arm reaches up, creating a straight line with the arms as you spread through the collarbone. We'll take an inhale here. And exhale. Slowly put a bend into that front leg as you quietly step back, warrior two. We'll flip the front palm on the inhale, reverse the warrior. And exhale. Windmill the arms, moving through your vinyasa. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, pushing back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between the hands. Inhale, rise to crescent. And exhale, opening up, warrior two. On an inhale, reverse the warrior. And exhale, shifting forward, coming into side angle pose. We'll reverse the warrior on the inhale. And exhale, moving back through warrior two. From here, we'll straighten that front leg, bringing the back foot forward a couple of inches, setting up for triangle pose. On an inhale, left arm extends out in front of you. And exhale, bringing the hand to the outside edge of the front foot, using a block here if needed. The outer edge of that back foot is sealed. The left thigh is engaged. The belly is in. The chest rotates open as the shoulders stack on top of one another, forming a straight line with the fingertips to opposite arm. We'll take an inhale here. And on the exhale, slowly shifting the weight forward into that left foot as the back leg lifts off the mat parallel to the floor. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. The abs are in, creating stability within the posture. The shoulders are stacked as you continuously peel the chest open. The bottom shoulder draws down the back away from the ear as the shoulder blades spread in opposite directions. We'll take an inhale here. And on the exhale, putting a bend in that front leg as you quietly step back, finding warrior two. Flip the front palm, reversing the warrior. Inhale. And exhale, arm circle, feeling into the repetition as you lower. Chest lifts, moving meditation on the inhale. And exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. We'll take an inhale here. And exhale, release it out. On an inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between the hands. Rise to crescent on the inhale. Cactusing the arms on the exhale. So the shoulders roll down the back, we're broad through the chest, heart shines forward. Now, take that left arm and bring it underneath and around the right as you wrap and spiral those arms around each other, creating eagle shoulder arms. Keeping the arms as is, go ahead and start to lean forward on the inhale. And then take flight on the exhale, shifting the weight into that front foot as the back leg rises parallel to the mat. Balancing here and remembering to breathe. We never forget about the breath. Now, spread your arms wide like wings, staying in your balance, as you slowly work your arms forward, coming in line with the ears for warrior three. Tremendous amount of strength required here. We're just breathing into it, taking it one breath at a time. We'll inhale here. And on the exhale, putting a bend into that front leg as you quietly step back, finding warrior two. On an inhale, flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. And exhale, windmill the arms through your vinyasa. We'll inhale your back bend variation. And exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. We'll take an inhale here. And exhale, sighing it out. You guys have come so far, and there's only a few more standing postures to go. So on an inhale, left leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between the hands. We'll rise to crescent on the inhale and cactus the arms out to the side on the exhale. Holding here as the shoulders roll down the back and the heart shines forward. We're broad across the chest. Now take that right arm and bring it underneath and around the left, spiraling those arms together. Keep the arms as is and we'll take flight on the exhale. Weight moves forward into that front foot as the back leg rises parallel to the mat. The raised foot is flexed and we're breathing into the stretch behind the shoulder blades. Staying in your balance, spread your arms wide like wings as you slowly rotate the arms up by the ears, coming into warrior three. Arms and leg are parallel to the mat, trying to keep those arms in line with the ears. Finding our inner warrior here and accepting the challenge with style and grace. We'll take an inhale here. And on the exhale, putting a slight bend into that front leg as you gracefully step back, finding warrior two. On the inhale, flip the front palm, paint the sky, reverse the warrior. And exhale, moving through your vinyasa. Inhale, chest lifts with dignity. And exhale, pressing back with serenity. We'll take an inhale here. And exhale, release it out. On an inhale, go ahead and shift forward to a plank. And release your knees down to the mat. Scoot them forward as you cross the legs behind you, coming into a seated position. And we'll go for a round of bicycle kicks if you're up for it. So leaning back, hands come behind the head, feet float off the mat as you bring your right elbow to the left knee, and then swapping it over, left elbow to the right knee. We'll go for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing all the way down to the mat. We'll go for a bridge pose. So place the soles of the feet on the mat hip distance, bringing them in close to the body, tickling the back of the heels with the fingertips. We'll press into the feet and lift the hips. Interlace the hands under the back and press the upper arm, forearm, and outer wrist into the floor. Roll the inner thighs down and soften the glutes as the tailbone lengthens towards the heels. Draw the shoulders under the chest and lift the shoulder blades towards the back of the heart. Gaze toward the sky. And releasing. Option for another bridge, or if wheel's in your practice, feel free to press up into wheel. Press into the hands and place the crown of the head on the floor. Press the arms straight, elevating the head off the mat. Roll the inner thighs down and soften through the buttocks. Draw the front ribs down towards the front hips and breathe into the chest. And releasing all the way back down to the mat. Hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side, massaging into that lower back. We'll bring the knees into the forehead as you press the hands into your sacrum, your lower back. Now, option to stay here, or option to go ahead and push up into shoulder stand. Legs extend up with the hips opening and the feet engaging towards the front edge of the mat. And when you're ready, releasing. Bringing the knees back to the forehead with the option to go into plow pose from here. Legs extend over the head behind you with the toes resting on the floor. Feeling into the back and releasing. Going for a couple of rock and rolls up and down the mat. Go ahead and make your way back into a downward facing dog. On the inhale, right leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the shin forward parallel to the front edge of the mat, and we'll go for pigeon pose. Flex the front foot to activate the shin and protect the knee. Extend the back leg straight back, keeping the top of the foot flat to the floor as the toes spread. Option to put a block under the front hip for support here. And slowly lower the chest towards the floor, keeping the sternum moving forward to lengthen the spine. You can use the forearms for support here, or if the flexibility is there, go ahead and rest the forehead onto the floor. We'll soften our gazes and just breathe into the posture. We'll hold here for a couple of breaths. And on an inhale, slowly pushing yourself back up, tuck the back toes and rise back, three-legged dog. And exhale, leg comes back down to the mat. On an inhale, left leg rises. And exhale, bring the shin forward parallel to the front edge of the mat. The front foot stays flexed as you extend the back leg straight out behind you. Again, option to place a block or pillow under that front hip for support as you slowly lower the chest towards the floor, keeping the sternum moving forward to lengthen the spine. Breathing into the posture and noticing how different the body feels on this side. We hold a lot of emotions in our hips, so holding deep stretches like this one can be very therapeutic. Release any thoughts that may arise as you focus on the breath, just breathing into the posture and into the hips. When you're ready and willing, slowly coming back up, tuck the back toes and pressing back to a three-legged dog. And exhale, leg comes to the mat. We'll drop the knees and go for hero's pose. So start in a kneeling position, bring the knees together, separate the feet wider than the hips. Connect the tops of the feet with the floor as the pinky toes spin down before lowering the sit bones to the floor between the heels, or option to sit on a block here if you need to modify. We'll lengthen the spine and stack the shoulders over the hips as we lean back onto the forearms. If the knees are sensitive, then stop here. If you're feeling all right, you can continue onto the back, extending the arms towards the back of the mat as the back of the neck lengthens. Draw the shoulder blades together under the heart, lifting the chest toward the sky. And releasing. Neck stays neutral as you come back onto the elbows and slowly push your way back up exactly the same way you came into it. Make your way back to a seated position with the legs out in front of you. Sweep the arms overhead, draw the shoulders down the back, and fold forward from the crease of the hips. Grasp the outside edges of the feet or just as far as you can reach while keeping the back straight. If a curve appears in the spine, just gently release out of it until the spine is straight again. As the feet flex, draw the pinky toe side of the foot toward the face as the inner arch of the foot presses slightly forward, which will keep the feet even as they flex. Send energy out through the heels, keeping the legs active throughout the pose. Every inhale, think about elongating that spine. And with every out-breath, thinking about drawing the heart closer to the thighs. We'll hold here for a couple of breaths. And slowly releasing. Go ahead and spread the legs apart. You may want to sit the long ways on the mat, keeping the legs active as you spin the outer thighs down to keep the knees pointing straight up at all times. Rooting the sit bones down, extend the torso forward, keeping the spine straight. Draw the shoulder blades away from the ears and extend the sternum forward as the chest opens. Hands come down in front of you, or option to grab onto the toes if the flexibility is there for you. We'll hold here, feeling into the stretch. And releasing, slowly making your way back up. Draw the soles of the feet together and work on drawing the heels towards the body. Open the knees away from each other. Hook the feet with the hands and keep the outer edge of each foot firmly grounded. Keep the pelvis neutral as the shoulders align directly over the hips and the collarbones widen. Slowly fold forward, feeling into the hips and into the groins. And releasing. Straighten the legs out in front of you. Bend the right knee and bring the foot to the outside of the left thigh as you place the right hand on the floor a few inches behind the tailbone. Sweep that left arm up towards the sky before hugging it around the right leg. And we'll twist the chest toward the right. Roll that right shoulder back and gaze over it, keeping the chin parallel to the floor. Draw the belly towards the spine and soften the shoulders back down. On an inhale, elongate that spine, and exhale, seeing if you can twist a little deeper. And releasing, we'll go for the other side. So the left knee bends in with the sole of the foot flat to the floor outside the right thigh. The right foot is flexed. Place the left hand on the floor a few inches behind the tailbone and sweep that right arm up towards the sky before hugging it around the left knee. Twist the chest toward the left, roll the left shoulder back, gazing over it. Draw the belly in as you draw the shoulders back down. On an inhale, think about elongating that spine, and exhale, seeing if you can twist a little deeper. And releasing, coming back onto your back, draw the knees into the chest, holding onto the shins, maybe shifting from side to side, massaging into that lower back. Go ahead and draw your head up into your knees like a little ball, squeezing everything in. Then releasing all the way down for our final resting pose, Savasana. You made it! Legs extend out in front of you as the feet relax out to either side. Arms rest next to the body with the palms face up. The shoulder blades draw back down the spine. Slight tuck of the chin as you relax and soften throughout the entire body. Just closing down the eyes here, allowing the body to absorb all the benefits of today's practice. And the good thing is you can rest easy, knowing that your practice is complete. Getting onto your mat and putting in the work is one of the most satisfying checks you can make throughout your entire day. The Buddha once said, there are only 2 mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. And you may not have been able to do every single vinyasa, or you may have had to find child's pose multiple times throughout today's practice, but that's okay. We're not graded on our overall performance. We're graded on our effort. And if you continue to come back to the mat, to challenge yourself and look inward for that inner warrior, you're going to reap the benefits. Feel free to stay here for as long as you'd like, for as long as would serve you best. But if you're ready and willing, we'll slowly start to bring some movement back into the body. Maybe shifting your head from side to side, rolling out the wrists, bringing some movement into the feet, and we'll slowly start to rock back and forth, making our way into a comfortable seat. We'll go ahead and put the hands in prayer in front of the third eye. May you have thoughts of wisdom and inspiration. Hands down to the lips. May you speak words of kindness and compassion. And hands to the heart center. May you feel and give the love that you truly do deserve. Together we say, Namaste.
I hope you guys had a beautiful practice. Let me know how it went by commenting below or finding me on Instagram, @ComeYogaWithBeat. I'll be posting a new flow to this channel every single week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Lots of love, life, health, and happiness to you all. I'll see you guys next time.